Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Assembly. I'm actually recording this on Thursday evening, and I shouldn't be here. I should not be sitting in my kitchen recording an assembly for you today. I should be, well, let me show you where I should be. And when you see it, I think some of you will understand why perhaps I'm feeling a bit glum, because you'll understand how much it would mean to me to be here. I should be at the Oval this evening, which is where my cricket team, Surrey, plays. It's their home ground, and it's a magnificent ground. It's amazing. I should be sitting on the left-hand side of the screen in an area called the Pavilion, because I am really fortunate in that I'm a member at Surrey. So when I go to watch the matches, I'm able to sit in the Pavilion and enjoy the spoils of being a member. But I can't be there tonight, because as we know, so many events and things have been cancelled. Usually at this time of year, a few evenings I spend up here in the sunshine, usually enjoying the cricket. But I've had to accept that this year it's not going to happen. So last week, in an effort, I think, to cheer me up, my brother sent me a photo of this. Can you see what it's made out of? It's actually a model of the Pavilion at the Oval, and it is made out of Lego. Now, he had seen it on Twitter, and a man, a fan of Surrey Cricket Club, had made this during lockdown with his family, although he admitted that he used to get a bit nervous when his children tried to help, because he wanted it to be absolutely perfect. He looked at photos of the Pavilion and he used his knowledge, and he just created this brilliant model. And he said he was so careful to look for Lego bricks that would be the right brown, the right shade, the right shape, because he wanted it to be as close as possible to the real thing. So that is the real thing. That's the front entrance to the Pavilion, where members, if they go and watch Surrey play, will walk in those gates and then walk in those doors. And it's amazing, it's magnificent. But as soon as I saw that Lego model, I knew what it was meant to be. I recognised it because the model is so good. So here's another picture of the model next to the real thing. He's even got the flags on the top. He's got the columns over the entrance. He's got two, I think they're meant to be umpires standing on the balcony. And that made me smile, because there are always people standing on that balcony when you go. He's got the gates at the front and, you know, the crepe sort of black fencing and so on. But really clever. He's even got the zebra crossings outside. Isn't that amazing? So it did make me smile when I saw that. And it reminded me of just a very short story that I want to share with you. Because when I read an interview with the man who had made this model, he talked about how he placed each brick really carefully. And if there was one brick missing, if his son had come along and moved something, or a brick wasn't where it's meant to be, he said it spoilt the whole thing. Every brick had its place and it needed to be in the right place. And it just reminded me of a story that I'd heard about another very famous building in London. This one. I'm sure lots of you will recognise this from the work that you've done in school. This is St Paul's Cathedral, and I want to share a very short story with you this morning about this building. Over 300 years ago, Sir Christopher Wren, the architect who designed the majestic St Paul's Cathedral in London, was visiting to see how work was progressing. There was a lot of work still to be done, but things were taking shape, and he spoke to some of the workers as he walked through the building. "What are you doing?" he asked one man, who was busy working with a mallet and chisel. "Oh, I'm carving a leaf on the base of this pillar," he replied. "And what are you doing?" Wren asked another man, who was busy spreading mortar over part of the floor. "Oh, I'm laying some tiles on this floor," he responded. "And what about you?" Wren inquired of a man who was busy mixing something. "Well, you see those stonemasons over there?" the man replied. "I'm mixing the mortar so that they can fix the keystone into that arch." Then Wren approached a man who was sweating over a rough lump of stone that he was hammering into a roughly rectangular shape. When Wren asked the man what he was doing, the man stood up and stretched his aching back. "Why," the man replied, casting his eyes about him, "I am building a cathedral." Although this man was simply shaping stones for the skilled stonemasons to work with, he understood that he had an important part to play in the building of the cathedral. He saw the bigger picture. His job may not have been as skilled as some of the other workers, but it was no less important. Without him doing his part, that cathedral would not have been built. In our school, we all have a part to play, and each one of us is as important as the others. Some people may have more responsibility, but all of us have an important part to play. Without you coming to school every day, the teachers would have no children to teach. Without Mr. Woodidge, the school would be very cold in the winter, and when we arrived, everything would be locked up. Without our cleaners who come in after school, the school would be dirty and it would be unhealthy. Without Mrs. Fellows and Mrs. Pulling in the office, we wouldn't have all our resources organised. We wouldn't get the messages that we need. Teachers, teaching assistants, governors all have important jobs to do. But without the support and work of so many others, our school couldn't function. We all have a part to play, and we are all contributing to the bigger picture. What's important is that whatever job we do it to the best of our ability. And when we do this, we realise that we are an important part of the bigger picture. Just like all the men it took to build St. Paul's Cathedral, our school needs each one of us to do our jobs properly and to do whatever it is we have to do well to make our school the amazing place that it is. And it's like that model of the oval, the pavilion. If those bricks weren't in the right place, if they weren't placed where they were meant to be, it wouldn't have been the same, it wouldn't have worked. Each one of us in school has an important part to play, and whatever part that is, we need to do the best job that we can. Martin Luther King said something about the attitude we should have. He said, "If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets in the same way Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, 'Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well.'" I wonder if you can think what Martin Luther King was trying to say there. If a man is called to be a street sweeper, he should sweep streets in the same way Michelangelo painted, or Beethoven composed music, or Shakespeare wrote poetry. Have a think and perhaps pause and talk to your teacher. What do you think Martin Luther King is telling us about how we should do jobs that we're given to do? Let's pray. Dear God, help us to understand that we are part of a bigger picture. May we try to do our best in everything, regardless of whether it appears to be important or not. We thank you for all those people who play a part in our lives, and we ask that we may appreciate all they do. Amen. Okay, we have some celebrations. The best seats in the house for children who have been on Times Table Rockstars are for the children who have the most improved speed this week. So congratulations to Kaylee, Louis, Caden, William, Thomas, Henley, Jessie, Talon, Tane and Tanya. You get the best seats in the house for most improved speed. That is brilliant. Well done to all of you. Now, the next slide about Times Table Rockstars and the best seats in the house has quite a bit of information, quite a few headlines on it. So let's go through this together. This week, there have been some battles raging within Key Stage 2. Year 6 had a head start on Year 5, but it looks like they ran out of steam as the final score was Year 6, 3,505, but Year 5, this is incredible, 29,203. That is absolutely amazing, Year 5. We've got here excellent rockstar skills, Year 5, superb. And Year 4 versus Year 5 saw Year 4 taking the glory with 6,320 to 2,627. So well done, Year 4. So perhaps next week, Year 4 need to take on Year 6, and we'll see who'll win that battle. That would be good, wouldn't it? Let's have a look at our good citizens for this week. Year 2, Zachary, for showing amazing commitment and fitness by doing Joe Wicks workouts for every single weekday during lockdown. Year 5, Josh, for his independence during lockdown. He's shown an excellent attitude to his learning. Year 3, Miss Todd said, "Can mine be Joseph?" for staying committed to his learning at home. He spent a long time on his Beowulf cartoon this week and it is super. So well done, Joseph. Year 6, we have Bubble 8, Harvey, for being a committed penguin towards his work this week. And from Bubble 7, Harry, for his effort and concentration this week, producing some great work as a result, another penguin. And also to both Bubbles from Year 6 for the creativity they are using in presenting their geography projects and the fantastic writing this week about the hoverbike. And I know lots of head teacher awards have been given to Year 6 this week, so well done for all the work that you're doing. Year 4, there are a few of you. Caden, Luke, Nathan and Olo. They have been in school since the very beginning of lockdown and have worked really hard. Miss Beresford has really enjoyed the discussions they've had, especially in English and history. Now, reception in Year 1, your teachers are about to announce your good citizens right now. And they will share that with me later so that I can find out who they are as well. Okay, well, I hope you have all had, I hope you've all enjoyed that assembly. We had Year 2 in yesterday to say goodbye to Mrs. Broderick and Mrs. Bolt, and it was so lovely to see you, Year 2. And I am really looking forward to seeing the other children who are coming back next week to say goodbye to their teachers. So stay safe this weekend, keep taking care, and we will see you all soon. Bye.